Wanted to give you guys a behind the scenes look at some of the logistics on my YouTube channel. I personally find behind the scenes interesting. This one specifically surrounds the new camera I got and some of that testing. Go ahead and take a look. Probably not the wisest of choices to sit down there, dude. This video will probably air much later, but the 4th of July was yesterday, and the kids painted the dog. Okay, you gotta move, dog. Good girl. The intent there was just to put together a bunch of clips, do the contrast deal, do a whole bunch of post-editing work to see how everything came together. A lot of times, I think I was overexposed on this, and it was actually very difficult to get the look that I wanted afterwards. This is an example of a clip. If you compare this one to the same setup with just different settings on the camera, you can see the big difference in the overall or end look. I actually forgot my tripod adapter, and thus resulting in a lot of these different looks that you're seeing, but actually I kind of like it just because it's different than your standard tripod. Okay, this I changed to 60 frames per second. Left everything else the same. This is intended for slow motion. Now there's a lot that I'm learning about these DSLRs, and slow motion is one of them. I like to use it occasionally, but well, take a look at this first. If you look at this 24 frames per second, this will make sense to some people. Look at the slow motion that results here. And then take a look at the 60 frames per second slow motion, and you can see a difference. You can see in the 60 frames per second it's much more smooth. Overall it looks a lot better. You don't get as much as what I believe they call ghosting in the movement of your subject. What I don't like about this is a lot of times I don't know if I really want to put something in slow motion. I don't pre-plan my shots a lot like you would if you're making a movie. I'd like to do that in post and just how the feel of the video that I'm trying to get across. So that'll be interesting to play with. Now this here, you'll notice a big difference in the color. So this I went to auto on the camera. I like that, you know, pretty much the color's there, at least I hope it is once I render it. The challenging thing is there's a tendency to lose a lot of the freedom of what you can do with the DSLR. So again, this is just me testing settings and what they look like and overall outcome as I move forward with this process.
Okay, I think that was in 60 FPS, so let's change it. Okay, so we are in auto on the top swirly button thingy-majigger, and we just went to 24 FPS.
That's my extremely technical knowledge that I'm expressing there. Also, what I'm doing here is you can hear the plane in the background. I'm testing audio, how far away the camera can be and still pick up good sound. Really, what does the sound come back like using, I do have a Rode external mic that I've plugged into the DSLR that I used on my previous camera that I broke. So I'm testing all that stuff out. I'm also looking at this and testing the auto focus feature, because I do so much self-filming. A lot of what I understand people do with these is they'll use the manual focus, which in some cases will make sense. In other cases, I don't think that will make sense in how my intended use of the camera and filming will be.
(12:15 5.6), previous was auto.
And that was a quick description of some of the settings I'm using, so now when I'm back here editing, I can reference and then take a look what it looks like and understand the settings that I was using, so if I need to alter it in the future, I can do so. Hope you enjoyed that process. Again, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and the time it has taken me to actually put this video together, and more so because this is a new camera. It's the Canon Rebel T6i. There's so many things you can do with the DSLR that's what I'm playing with. I'm kind of new to DSLRs, at least modern DSLRs. I had one a long time ago, that's a different story. But that's what I'm playing with right now. So in the actually editing software, it was a lot to try and figure out. What I pulled from most of that is what they called flat footage, and trying to get it to where I needed it to be, which honestly I didn't get it to where I wanted it. But that's part of this whole process. And this time, because I've had to do this in the past with other cameras, this time I figured, hey, why not share it with you guys? Hopefully you find that interesting. Hopefully maybe you learn something if this is something you're into, or like I said, you just found it interesting. If there's any more questions regarding this process, let me know. I thought about doing a little mini series on this whole process, but we'll see how time permits and interest level, my interest level, your interest level, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you.